637 Thompson Unit B. We're going to go to widescreen here so we can see more. This is a small unit. So this is the unit that we've been having the moisture issue in, or supposed moisture issue. I've been in here a dozen times and I've never seen a moisture issue. I don't think that there is a moisture issue, to be honest with you. Maybe in extreme rain condition, we would get some water run across the floor. The only spot that I've ever seen any mildew is right here, and this is right just next to the stove in the little kitchenette area here. That has not changed. It has not grown. It is not wet. This has been closed up with no heat on for months in here, and there's no signs of mildew or moisture. If we had any, even if it wasn't standing water on the floor, we would have signs of mildew if the humidity was high in here for moisture, and we're not seeing that anywhere. We'll check the bathroom, no issues that I'm seeing. The bedroom area, no issues that I'm seeing. This is all just a rougher floor, but that's the way that it's always been. There's no water stains in here anywhere. There's no signs of mildew or high humidity. When I came into the unit, this door was open, so I imagine whoever gave the last bid in here didn't shut it very well. But so that's where that mildew is, right behind the stove, and so we can just go back in here and check. And see that, you know, it's dry back in here. This is the foundation wall. You can see how dry everything is at this point. There's no signs of moisture back in here at all, anywhere that I'm seeing. So my take on Thompson 637B is never seen any moisture issues other than this. I know that there was more on the baseboards than that, but I really think that what happened was we probably did a paint and a cleaning, and there was a lot of moisture in here. There's not much as far as like porous surfaces to soak up that moisture, and then we probably closed it up with the heat off, and that moisture had to find somewhere to go and it mildewed. But I would just highly hesitate to spend thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to fix this issue. I'm not convinced that there is an issue. Let's look here, this last thing in this video, but this is the sump room. No signs of moisture anywhere whatsoever. No moisture anywhere. I'm not sure why that's not plugged in. There is water down in the sump well, but it's, you know, that's groundwater level. It's a foot below the concrete at least. So we're not having any kind of a moisture issue back in here right now. And it's been raining for days and days, and it's supposed to rain hard and consistent for the next 6 or 7 days, so we can take a look and check everything. All right, this is 637 Thompson Unit B, checking on the water issue. So what I did is I unplugged the sump pump about an hour ago, because it runs pretty consistently. It runs pretty often, and which is fine, other than we're just reliant on that pump to not stop working, and then also there's the sound that comes from the pump running pretty consistently. But I wanted to see where the groundwater level would stop. So it's come up, I don't know, 8 or 10 inches or so, and then it looks like it's pretty much leveled off here at this point and stopped coming up, even though we're getting quite a bit of rain. But what it has done is it's raised the existing groundwater levels as well, because you can see there is now water standing back under the tub where there was no water. That was completely dry here not too long ago back in here, and as soon as I let this sump kick off and fill up, now we're filling up with water back in the tub. So definitely is necessary to have this sump running. I was trying to test and see if we could bring it up to closer to the top of the groundwater level so it would just kick on for emergency uses, but I think what we need to do is bring that pump up about 6 inches, put a bunch of pea gravel in the bottom, make sure we've got a good, nice, high quality, quiet pump in here that we can rely on. Fix this. It's just a real cheap It's just flopping around on there. That could be an issue. We'll need to cover this opening, make a cover, and probably secure it to that bottom plate of the wall, just so that, I mean, really right now, with this being a little utility closet, that's actually a safety issue. And then the other issue, the last thing that's going to take to really solve this, clean up all this junk under here, everything. It's a mess. Maybe even paint these floors, this concrete in here, so we've got a nice clean look, so we can tell if we have any issues in the future. And then I don't know why we don't have any power in here. So there's power run down here, and this is where it looks like it was originally plugged in. We've got power for both the alarm and for the sump pump, but there is no power to those outlets, and I can't figure out. I'll talk to Brad and see if I can figure out if he knows anything more about where they go. But the electrical box is back in the closet, or in the crawl back in there, and everything's on. I don't see any power that's in the off position, so we're going to need to figure out. Right now it's just been plugged in into the wall here in the kitchen, which obviously isn't going to work. So we're going to want to make sure we've got a high enough amperage outlet there that's going to run the pump. I might suggest that we get YMK in here to figure out why we don't have power here any longer. But as far as getting a higher quality pump in here and cleaning up this pump well a little bit, I think that we can handle that. And I really feel like as long as this pump stays plugged in, this is going to solve the moisture issue at 637 B Thompson.